students. So today we'll discuss about the third lesson in 10th class, that is metals and non-metals. So before going to start about these metals and non-metals, we recall the basic things about metals and non-metals. All of you know that in 9th standard you studied about matter. So matter is a substance, anything which occupies space and mass is called matter. In that matter, you studied about pure substances and mixtures. Again, the pure substances again classified into elements and compounds. So, in case of mixtures, you have studied about homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixtures. So, in pure substances, so elements are nothing but they containing the same kind of atoms, means that atoms or cannot be broken into simple substances. They are called as elements. But in case of compounds, it's a combination of different kinds of atoms. That is, it is easily broken by some chemical substances or by electrochemical reactions. So when you take the example of elements, there are some examples in the periodic tables. You have noticed that there is a 118 elements are there. So especially this hydrogen, copper, nitrogen, oxygen, these are some of the elements. They are nothing but they contain same kind of atoms. So if you are taking hydrogen, they contain the same kind of atoms. When you take the compounds, these consist of the two or more elements which combine together in a definite proportion. Means they are chemically combined. For example, when you take the water, there is a combination of the hydrogen and the oxygen, that is in the ratio of 2:1. So why I am discussing these things about the elements and compounds? Again, elements are further classified into metals, non-metals and metallites. So in this class we are discussing about the metals and non-metals. Actually this year there is for example, when you take the first lesson, they already skipped the first lesson, and in the second lesson sir did some of the activities and concepts, it is skipped. So he has completed the second lesson. In the third lesson also there is some concepts and activities they have skipped, but I need to tell about what are the contents which is present in metals and non-metals. Actually, why I am discussing these things, because this year in the final examination, recently in the SSLC examination, they asked about which physical properties are used in the following situations. That is why I am stressing towards the metals, which are what are metals and what are the physical properties of metals, and what are the especially the chemical properties of metals. So when you go through these contents, so here one activity is there. They have taken the sample of iron, copper, aluminium and magnesium. So when you take these metals, the appearance before cleaning, so they have shiny surface, but appearance after cleaning, when you start cleaning afterwards, they become shinier. So by this we can say that especially some metals, they are shiny in nature, that is, they are shining surface. So this is one of the physical properties of metals. So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, metals are lustrous, means some metals, especially iron, copper, aluminium and magnesium, these metals have shiny surface irodrinda we call it these metals as lustrous. Coming to here one more activity they have given. Take a small piece of iron, copper, aluminium, magnesium and sodium. So when you look at these metals, they are very hard to cut. So usually in your school, I think your teacher, she shown or he shown experiments of the study sodium when it is cut with the help of knife. It is very hard to cut. So by this we can say that so metals are hard. So which metals are hard? Iron, copper, aluminium and magnesium and sodium. These metals are very hard to cut. So this is the second physical properties of metals. Coming to the third one, hold a piece of sodiums, that is they are shown in the diagrams what I just now said about the metals. Next, take a piece of iron, zinc, lead and copper. So these metals, place each metals on a block of iron or and start striking with a four and 5 times with the help of hammer. Hammer ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಸುತ್ತಿಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನೀವು ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಐರನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದೇನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಐರನ್, zinc, lead and copper. When you start striking with the help of hammer, they are especially they take the form of sheets on beating. So these nothing but when you with the help of starting striking towards with the help of hammer, they become sheets, beating the sheets. So ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, we call these sheets are called malleability. The meaning of malleability means the ability of the metal to be beaten into thin sheets. You have seen in the case of gold, they are making very thin sheets. Even in chocolate papers, you can see the aluminium sheets for food wrapping or something they are using. There also you can see that how these sheets are become beaten into thin sheets. So which sheets, which metals have the ability to beaten into thin sheets, we call this as a malleability. Malleability, the meaning is beaten into thin sheets. You can give the example like iron, zinc, lead, copper and even that is gold, all these things. So coming to the next one, you can see there are some metals they have given: iron, copper, aluminium, gold, silver, platinum and tin metals. So you can they have shown in these pictures, they have shown the copper wire is there, so aluminium and even some other wires, that is these wires are making into thin wires. So these wires, the especially lead is not available in the form of wire, but that is also considered as a wire. Then this meaning is called as ductility. Ductility itself says that the ability of the metal to be drawn into thin wires. Which metals are drawn into thin wires, they are called ductility. So this malleability is nothing but make into thin sheets and ductility is nothing but drawn into thin wires. You can give the example of iron, copper, aluminium, gold, silver, platinum, tin and even in case of gold also you can give, and these metals are drawn into thin wires. This is also one of the physical properties of metals. Coming to the here one question they asked, why are some metals are used for making vessels? So they shown some metals, for example that is there is some copper vessel is there, bronze, itale, brass, all these are using for making or for cooking purposes. Why they are using these for cooking purposes? Because the metals are used for making the vessels because their thermal conduction property is very good. What is the meaning of thermal conduction? They produce more heat. When you started to cook, the vessel it start getting heat. So by that time your food materials is also cooked fast. So and they transit heat easily, ensuring that food gets cooked faster. So usually in your home, when your mother start to cook some food items, especially sambar or anything, she will keep the one that is a spoon or anything. So keep it as it is in the with the help in the dipped in the sambar. It start when you start especially when it start boiling. So when you touch that the spoon, it start getting heat because the thermal conduction, it is the heat get transferred from one end to another end. By this we can say that so some of the metals are good conductor of heat and even some metals are good conductor of electricity. Electricity means so when usually the electrons can easily flow through that wire. That is, it is some metals, especially when you take the copper, especially and zinc, even silver, so aluminium. So especially these copper, aluminium, and silver, they are the good conductors of electricity. But usually in our day-to-day life, we are using the copper as a using as a wire in case of electricity, because the silver is a very good conductor. Even all of you know that, but it is very costlier. That is why we are using the copper as a for electricity purposes. So by this we can say that the metals are good conductors of heat and good conductors of electricity. So even iron is also a good conductors of heat. So coming to the next, the metals are sonorous. What is the meaning of metals are sonorous? The metal that produce a sound on striking hard surfaces. So usually, for example, in your school, that is a school bell is there. That is also when you are striking, when you means when you are striking with the help of any iron substances. So it start producing sound. Even in the case of the guitar, especially there are strings are used in the case of guitar. They also start producing even in veena. Usually there is a striking of the sounds will come. These sounds are nothing but they are called as a when you strike it on hard substances, they are called sonorous. Sonorous means they produce sound on a being heat. So these especially there are some metals especially they produces sonorous. Sonorous means sound. So these are the examples, especially this is also one of the physical properties of metals. So metals are sonorous. So what actually just now I told about the some of the physical properties of metals they are mentioned over here. So usually the metals usually they are shiny surface, the first one. The second one, the metals are generally hard, and the third one is some metals can be beaten into thin sheets. We call these as malleable, and some metals can be drawn into thin wires. We call it as ductile. And there are these metals are good conductors of heat and good conductors of electricity, and usually some metals have high density with high melting point. And the last properties of the physical properties of metals is most of the metals sound on hitting they produces sonorous. Sonorous means sound making systems. So these are the physical properties of metals, and here they have given some of the examples, especially the physical properties. For example, when you take the electric wires are coated with PVC. Why they are coated with PVC? PVC means polyvinyl chloride or rubber like materials, because they are good conductors of electricity. When you touch directly with by hand, especially, so usually they will affect, and that is why they are coated with PVC or rubber like materials, that is act as a insulator in case of electric wire. So next, metals are used for making bells, strings of musical instruments. So especially I just told about that in this year in the examinations they asked that is for 2 marks question, which physical properties are used in the following situations. The first one they asked gold is used to make ornaments, So you can write the physical properties of gold. So used to make ornaments means why they have to use to make ornaments. There is options are there. First one I told that it is a shiny surface. Shiny surface means metals are lustrous. And the second one you can write it the ductility means it is the drawn into thin wires. So when making jewels ornaments they are usually make into thin wires, that is ductility. And even in case of it is act as a malleability. What is the meaning of malleability? It is beaten into thin sheets. So you can write it for gold. These are the three properties of for gold. That is, one is shiny surfaces, and the second one is called ductility, means they are drawn into thin wires, and the third one is it is malleability. It is beaten into thin sheets. You can get the 1 marks for this. And the second one, the option dash nickel is used in strings of guitar. So the nickel itself is a metal. It is used in strings of guitar. Strings, just I told about that is one of the properties of metals. When you hit the striking of some of the hard surface of the metals, they start producing sound. That is called sonorous. You can write it that also. And it is used as strings of guitar making to drawn into thin wires. What is the meaning of thin wires? It is nothing but ductility. So these two are the properties. You can write it and get the marks of 2 marks for the physical properties of the metals. Okay, so this is this year asked in the examinations. So metals are sonorous. You can write it as some musical instruments like guitar and so violin, so veena, all this they are used. You can write it the two properties, like one is sonorous and another one is ductility. If they asked about used in making ornaments, you can write it so malleability, you can write it ductility also. Can use the shiny substances. When you ask the good conductors of heat, you can write it the copper, then aluminium. So these are the examples for especially the why aluminiums are used in making utensils, because they are good conductors of heat. So and if you are asking to good conductors of electricity, I already told about the copper, silver and aluminium. But copper is used as a good conductors of electricity, and even the metals are ductiles. So these are the physical properties of metals. Please go through it and study properly. But usually you are already studied in the previous classes. So just I just memorizing these physical properties of metals. So next coming to the coming to the chemical properties of metals. So usually the chemical properties of metals they are also asked in the some examination points of view. So So, when we discuss about the physical properties of metals, we also discuss about the physical properties of non-metals. Physical properties of metals, just I told about that metals are usually shiny surfaces. They are usually lustrous, and metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. So metals are malleable and ductility. Metals are sonorous. Metals are high density and high melting point. But what about the non-metals? They are just opposite to that of the metals. So most of the non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. But when you are taking the electricity as an example, some exceptions are there. That is, yes, especially graphite, which is a allotropy form of carbon. So these especially acts as a good conductors in case of non-metals, but most of the non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. Coming to that, when we talk about the metals are malleable, make into so thin sheets and beaten into thin sheets and drawn into thin wires ductility. But what about the non-metals? They are non-ductile property and non-malleable, so cannot be made into thin sheets and thin wires. And most of the metals are hard, but these non-metals are solid, especially brittle solids. Brittle means easily broken up. So, and most of the metals are solid at room temperature. Exceptional case in case of mercury and gallium, they are liquid state. So most of the metals are solid in nature, but non-metals are solid liquid gases at room temperatures. And metals are sonorous, but non-metals are not sonorous. So coming to the chemical properties of metals, so metals are easily corrodible. What is the meaning of corrosions? They usually undergo rusting. So rusting means you already studied about the iron. When iron is reacts with oxygen in presence of moist air to form a rust, that is a browning color and easily corrodible. So that is, in order to avoid the corrosions, we will also discuss about the corrosions in this lesson. So corrodible, most of the metals are corrodible, and usually another chemical properties of metals are usually they donate the electron, they lose the electrons, so that is becomes the H plus. So H plus ions. So when they donate the electrons, they or lose the electrons, they usually becomes positive ions. And next is, there most of the metals are basic oxides. So basic oxides means especially when sodium is reacts with oxygen becomes sodium oxide, and calcium is reacts with oxygen to form a calcium oxide CaO, and magnesium is reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide MgO. These are the basic in nature, that is why they act as a basic oxides. And one more, these most of the metals have lower electronegativities. When they become electronegative, because they lose the electrons, they becomes lower electronegativity. And the last one is they act as a very good reducing agents. So we are discussing about this reducing agent in this lesson only, about the extraction of some of the metals. So when we are extracting the iron, so there the hydrogen itself is act as a good reducing agent. So these are the some of the chemical properties of metals. They are easily corrodible, they can lose the electrons, they form basic oxides, they have a lower negativities and act as a very good reducing agent. So coming to the chemical properties of metals, the chemical properties of metals usually what I said, so generally these are easily corrodible. Especially which chemical properties, especially metals are easily corrodible, but these chemical properties, when we take non-metals, generally they contains 4 to 8 electrons in the outermost shells. Means these are incompletely penultimate shells which is present in the outermost electrons in the shells. Especially there are nearly 4 to 8 electrons in the outermost shells, and these especially they gain the electrons. If anyone has to lose the electrons, so the non-metals has to gain the electrons. And most of the metals are basic oxides, the non-metals are acidic oxide. The best example is sulfur, is when it is reacts with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. So this is the acidic oxide. This is one of the chemical properties of non-metals. And most of the metals are lower electronegativities, but these non-metals are higher electronegativity elements. And these most of the metals are act as a good reducing agent, whereas the non-metals are act as a good oxidizing agents. So in this class we discussed about some of the properties, physical properties of metals, and physical properties of non-metals, and the chemical properties of metals and the chemical properties of non-metals. Please go through with the physical properties and also the chemical properties of metals and non-metals, because in the examination they are going to ask about they're going to ask the example, and they have to ask the physical properties of which is the physical properties. So this year they asked in the for 2 marks questions. So in the next class we'll discuss about how the action of metals with air. So thank you, students.